Did you know that over 80 women are documented as scholars in Islamic history, many of whom taught male students, including some of the most prominent Islamic jurists? This challenges the widespread stereotype that women played only a marginal role in Islamic intellectual history. In fact, scholars like Fatima al-Fihri, who founded the world's oldest existing university, Al-Qarawiyyin in 859 CE, and Aisha bint Abu Bakr, one of the Prophet Muhammad's wives and a leading authority on hadith, exemplify how women were central to the religious and scholarly life of early Islam. Throughout Islamic history, women have played vital and influential roles, yet their stories are often overlooked or overshadowed. From scholars and educators to rulers, poets, and philanthropists, women have made significant contributions to the spiritual, intellectual, and cultural fabric of Muslim societies. Exploring these roles is not just an act of reclaiming forgotten narratives, it is essential to gaining a fuller, more accurate understanding of Islamic history itself. By highlighting the impact and achievements of these women, we challenge persistent stereotypes and honor a legacy of empowerment and knowledge that continues to inspire today. Women in Islamic societies are often portrayed through a narrow and distorted lens, frequently seen as passive, oppressed, or confined solely to domestic roles. These misconceptions, shaped by selective narratives and cultural biases, ignore the diverse realities and historical complexities of Muslim women's lives. Such stereotypes overlook the fact that many Muslim women have held positions of authority, contributed to scholarship, led social reforms, and shaped communities across centuries. To move beyond these one-dimensional portrayals, it is crucial to explore the authentic historical roles of women in Islam, rooted in primary sources and lived experiences, offering a more nuanced and empowering perspective. Notable women in Islamic history played significant roles in religious, political, and social contexts. Three of the most influential are Khadija bint Khuwaylid, Aisha bint Abi Bakr, and Fatima bint Muhammad. Each contributed to the early Muslim community and shaped Islamic thought and tradition in lasting ways. 1. Khadija bint Khuwaylid, c. 555, 619 CE. Role: first wife of Prophet Muhammad, first convert to Islam. Context: lived in Mecca during a time when tribal loyalties and patriarchal norms dominated society. Contributions: successful businesswoman. Khadija was a wealthy and respected merchant in Mecca, known for her integrity and independence. She employed Muhammad before marrying him, making her one of the few women of her time in a position of significant economic power. First believer: when Muhammad received his first revelation from the angel Gabriel, Khadija was the first person to accept his message. She provided emotional and financial support during the earliest, most difficult years of the Islamic mission. Moral support: her belief in Muhammad's mission helped sustain him through the persecution and ostracization by the Quraysh tribe. Mother of Fatima: she was the mother of Fatima, further linking her legacy to the Prophet's family line, which plays a critical role in both Sunni and Shia Islam. Khadija is often remembered as the mother of the believers and a model of loyalty, strength, and faith. 2. Aisha bint Abi Bakr, c. 613, 678 CE. Role: wife of Prophet Muhammad, Islamic scholar, political figure. Context: lived during and after the Prophet's lifetime, during the caliphates of Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. Contributions: narrator of hadith. Aisha is one of the most prolific transmitters of hadith, prophetic traditions, with over 2,000 attributed to her. Her narrations offer insight into the Prophet's private and public life, shaping Islamic jurisprudence and ethics. Educator and jurist, Known for her intelligence and eloquence, she taught many companions in later generations. She played a key role in interpreting Islamic law and theology. Political leader. Aisha was involved in the political struggles following the Prophet's death, most notably in the Battle of the Camel, 656 CE, where she led a contingent against Caliph Ali ibn Abi Talib. Though controversial, her actions showed the active political participation of women in early Islam. Aisha's legacy is complex, both deeply revered and debated, but her scholarly and political contributions remain foundational. 3. Fatima bint Muhammad, c. 605-632 CE. Role: daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, wife of Ali ibn Abi Talib, mother of Hassan and Hussein. Context: lived in Medina during the formative years of the Islamic community. Contributions: spiritual legacy. Fatima is considered by many Muslims, especially Shia, as the spiritual matriarch of the Prophet's family, Ahlul al-Bayt. Her purity, devotion, and piety are central to Islamic spirituality. Political symbolism. After the Prophet's death, Fatima protested the succession of Abu Bakr and the confiscation of the land of Fadak, which she claimed as her inheritance. Her stand is cited in debates about justice, leadership, and the role of women in society. Mother of Imams. Fatima's sons, Hassan and Hussein, are revered in both Sunni and Shia Islam, particularly in Shia theology, where they are considered the second and third Imams. Her lineage continues in the form of the Sayyids, descendants of the Prophet. Fatima is known as Fatima al-Zahra, the Radiant, and is considered a symbol of resistance, piety, and maternal strength. Conclusion. These three women, Khadija, Aisha, and Fatima, played unique roles in shaping Islamic history. Khadija was a pillar of support in Islam's earliest days, Aisha was a guardian of its knowledge, and Fatima became a symbol of its spiritual and familial legacy. Their lives highlight the multifaceted contributions of women in Islam and challenge modern assumptions about gender roles in early Muslim societies. These women were far more than just figures in Islamic history. They were active agents whose lives and actions profoundly influenced Islamic thought, culture, and society, often in ways that go beyond the usual traditional narratives. Here's how their pivotal roles stand out. Khadija bint Khuwaylid, the foundation of Islam's early spiritual and social framework, challenging gender norms through economic independence. Khadija's success as a businesswoman defied the typical expectations of women in 7th century Arabia, proving that women could hold economic power and social influence. Her role highlights how women contributed materially to society and the survival of the nascent Muslim community, embodying faith and support that enabled Islam's emergence. Khadija's unwavering belief in Muhammad's prophethood gave the early Muslim message credibility and moral strength. Without her support, both financial and emotional, the Islamic mission might have faltered in its vulnerable infancy. Model of spiritual partnership and leadership. She exemplified a partnership between men and women that was spiritually centered and egalitarian, setting a precedent for Muslim women's engagement with faith and public life. Aisha bint Abi Bakr, the intellectual and political architect of Islamic thought, shaping Islamic jurisprudence and theology. As the most prolific female narrator of hadith, Aisha's knowledge helped codify the Prophet's teachings into law and ethics. Her intellectual contributions laid critical groundwork for Islamic jurisprudence fiqh, demonstrating women's capacity to shape religious scholarship, revealing women's political agency in early Islam. By leading troops in the Battle of the Camel, Aisha broke stereotypes of women's passivity, showing that women could be political actors and leaders, deeply involved in the community's governance and disputes, challenging patriarchal interpretations. Aisha's assertiveness in religious and political matters complicates simplistic readings of women's roles, illustrating that early Islamic society contained space for female authority and debate. Fatima bint Muhammad, the spiritual and symbolic core of Islamic identity, symbol of justice, resistance, and female empowerment. Fatima's refusal to accept the political status quo after Muhammad's death, especially regarding the succession and the issue of inheritance, made her a powerful symbol of resistance to injustice and assertiveness in defending rights, which resonates strongly in Islamic thought on leadership and legitimacy, spiritual ideal and moral paradigm. Revered as Fatima al-Zahra, the Radiant, she represents purity, devotion, and sacrifice. Her life and legacy serve as a spiritual archetype for Muslims, especially in Shia Islam, where she is considered the perfect example of female virtue and a model of devotion and strength. Matriarch of the Prophet's lineage and shaping of Shia identity. Through her children Hassan and Hussein, Fatima's legacy defines much of Islamic religious and political identity, particularly in the Shia tradition, influencing notions of leadership, martyrdom, and piety. Broader significance beyond traditional narratives. Women as active contributors, not just supporters. These figures demonstrate that women in early Islam were not confined to passive roles. Instead, they shaped doctrine, culture, politics, and spirituality directly, redefining gender roles in Islamic history. Their lives challenged the narrative that Islam inherently limited women's public participation. Instead, these women reveal a dynamic and nuanced reality where gender roles were complex and sometimes fluid. Inspiration for contemporary Muslim women. The legacy of Khadija, Aisha, and Fatima inspires Muslim women today in various fields: religious scholarship, leadership, activism, highlighting historical precedents for female empowerment within Islamic tradition. In short, Khadija, Aisha, and Fatima were foundational in shaping Islam not only as a religion but as a vibrant, evolving civilization. Their examples encourage us to rethink women's roles in Islamic history, recognizing their intellectual, spiritual, and political agency as essential to the faith's development and enduring influence. Thanks for diving into the stories of Khadija, Aisha, and Fatima with me. Which of these incredible women resonates most with you? Or is there another historical figure who inspires you? Drop your thoughts and favorites in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective on the roles women have played throughout history. If you found this fascinating, don't miss our next video where we explore more powerful women who shaped history in surprising ways. Hit that subscribe button and join the conversation.